Hi, this is Neil Waterhouse. Have you considered selling items to China as another income stream? Now, most people only think of China as a place to import items from. However, the Chinese absolutely love Australian and American-made products, and with their massive population of nearly 1.4 billion people, it makes China the largest consumer market on the planet. This combination of a massive marketplace and their love for Australian and American products means there are huge opportunities if you have access to Australian or American made products. They also like from other countries as well, but I'm just going to focus on that because that's the sort of the main market. If you have access to these types of products, this is something you should definitely consider, as the demand is simply enormous. Do you remember the fiasco back in 2015 when Australian supermarkets were being stripped bare of baby formula as it was being purchased and sold back to China? Well, not back to China, it was actually made in Australia, of course, and then sold to China. The Chinese, they simply trust Australian foods, and they love many Australian-made products, including leather products. In fact, they love Australian leather products so much that they purchased bootwear and clothing retailer R.M. Williams back in 2014. Now, some of the many other Australian-made products the Chinese love to buy are honey, wool products, alpaca wool products, hides, skins, wheat, barley, minerals like opals, milk powders, seafoods, fresh fruits, grapes, cherries, chilled or frozen meat. However, they only buy red meat. However, that does include deer meat, kangaroo meat, etc. Not white meat though, so if you've got a crocodile in your backyard and you want to chop him up, you can't currently sell it back to the Chinese. Now, other items are processed foods, baby foods, wine, beer, natural fruit juice, convenience foods, instant foods, confectionery, snack foods, condiments, etc., etc. The list just goes on. Of course, there's a ton more products that the Chinese love to purchase. Now, this strategy of exporting back to China, it's not a strategy that we use very often, as we don't have good access to the products. However, the reason I'm telling you about this today is it's a massive opportunity if you have access to these types of products, and it's something that every Australian and every American should be aware of, just in case they have access to these products or they have a friend or family member who has access. Now, for example, an associate of mine has an alpaca farm in Australia and continually gets $50,000 and $100,000 orders from China for his alpaca wool. These orders continually come in. There's bigger orders out there. It's just the population is so massive they can continually pump out these massive orders. Now, and he gets all this traffic from just one source, which is Alibaba. Now, have a think yourself. Do you have access to these types of products? If you do, the next step is just let the Chinese know what you have available, and you can do this simply by opening a profile on Alibaba. This is simply the reverse of how you buy products from China. If you're going to source items from China, you can use Alibaba as a search engine to find whatever it is that you're looking for. If you are based in Australia and you have, say, some Australian honey to sell, simply open an account on Alibaba and show the Chinese or the people all over the world what you have. Many people think that Alibaba is used only for purchasing from China. However, they're not aware Alibaba is used worldwide to source products from all other countries. But Alibaba is not the only place though. There are many other sites in China where you can list your items, including Tmall, which for those who don't know is owned by Jack Ma, who is also the founder of Alibaba. Now, Tmall, it's no small marketplace. Tmall owns over 50% of the Chinese B2C or business to consumer market. So it's just a quick one this week. That's all for this week. Please leave a comment below. If you think this video blog might be of interest to somebody else, please give me a share from the links below. Until next week, list more, sell more. This is Neil Waterhouse.